go live.
Why is it?
Hold on. Welcome to episode 59 of the SNLF podcast, proudly sponsored by New Style Apparel, serving up the best and sharpest gear in football. If you want to look at the part on the touchline and on the terrace, you already know the score. Now, this week's guest we'll get on to in a minute, but I just want to check in with Mike, make sure he's okay, because I know he's supposed to be in Paris today, but it all went a little bit tits up, didn't it, Mike?
Oh, mate, I've had the worst day of my life. Well, all right, bit of an exaggeration there. I've had the worst day of the year. Okay. So I, as you know, do a bit of traveling. Today, I had a fantastic opportunity. My client is a client called the Qatar Foundation. They sponsor a few football teams, including Paris Saint-Germain, and they wanted to sweeten a deal a little bit. So they gave me an access all areas tour and meet and greet at the Parc des Princes where PSG are playing. Unfortunately, Mike McCaffrey, for the first time ever, decided to lose his fucking passport. And he spent 6 hours. Well, I spent an hour. My wife spent 5 hours turning the house upside down last night, even enticing my children with money for a reward for the passport. And it was not found. And I only found out I was going yesterday. So I booked sleazy jet flight, about 150 quid. Hotel by the Tour Eiffel, because I haven't been to that place before. So have a little look at that.
You've never been to the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, never been there, mate.
It's not missing much. Go to Blackpool, you see another one. Looks exactly.
Go Vegas, you see one as well.
Yeah.
Cut a long story short, I gave up at about 10 o'clock last night, resumed to the fact that I now can't meet my client, can't go on the tour. I've paid out for the flights, the hotel I can't cancel, and the driver to pick me up from the airport. So that was probably all in all about 500 quid. And add on the £178 that I've had to do for an emergency passport because I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks. So, yeah, I've had a fucking great day, lads. How has your day gone?
I don't know. Chris, you recovered from going behind enemy lines yesterday?
Yeah, just about dried off. It was proper Mancunian weather in Eastbourne.
You should have used it then.
Which wasn't nice. But, yeah, sorry to hear your day went south, Mike.
We didn't go south, did it?
Exactly. That was the gag.
I was actually hoping, there's supposed to be snow all around the last couple of days, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there's only been little drops. So I was hoping that, that might help me and get it all refunded, but no.
No.
So, unfortunately, boys, you got me tonight.
That's all right. We'll let you off. Now, this week's guest isn't just joining us for a chat. He's normally doing this. So if you're bored of my dulcet tones, you have to suck it up for a little bit longer. Our guest tonight is none other than best editorial with the non-league paper, winning. I'm going to call him a journalist. Trevor
Is he a journalist now?
I don't know. He likes to think of himself as a writer, but writers are journalists, aren't they? So, look, this week we decided to make it a little bit about Trevor. We're going to turn it into an awards tour. He won Best Editorial in the Non-League magazine last week before last, and that is not all. Trevor's also currently shortlisted for the Non-League Publication of the Year, up against some proper heavy hitters, the Non-League paper, a paper that Trevor's literally bought every week for as long as I've known him. He's up against them. The Glover's Cast, and obviously himself at footballwriting.co.uk. Not an easy one. And if that wasn't enough, he's also a finalist for Non-League Social Page of the Year, going head-to-head with the people that awarded him the winner of Best Editorial, Non-League Paper, Non-League Full-Time, and Off the Line blog, which, frankly, is a murderer's row of non-league content. So rather than just clap politely, nod respectfully, and move on, which is boring, we just thought we'd do a sensible thing and stick him in front of the microphone. We're going to dig into the mind of the man behind the words, the journey so far, the craft, the graft, and what actually makes an award-winning, multi-nominated, non-league writer tick. Strap in. Let's get into it. Trev, I've put together something about 20 minutes. Oh, hold on. Hold on. My computer's gone a bit.
I
mad.
love how that just rolled off your tongue there. That did.
It did, didn't it? It's almost
You know
like
what I
I'm
mean?
reading a script, isn't it?
I mean,
ChatGPT. That's not words of Gaz.
I wrote it.
I didn't know you could read. I didn't know you could read. So that's good.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Down here, they teach you how to read. They don't do that in Manchester, do they? Right. We're going to start. I'll start gently. Trev, you watch more non-league football than is probably healthy. What point did it stop being a hobby and start becoming a lifestyle?
I would say it's still a hobby, if I'm honest. It is part of a lifestyle. I'll give it that much. I don't know, just something I've always enjoyed, I suppose, more than anything else. And I just can't stand the Premier League. It's just sterile. It's boring. I saw someone actually the other day on Twitter turn around and say, particularly that the last weekend of Premier League football they watched, it was just there were hardly any goals. It was boring. You've got VAR. You've got kickoff times moving here, there, and everywhere. You got away fans travelling at silly times of the day and everything. And it's just what's drawing people to non-league. But I've been watching it for I don't know what 42 years, I think, something like that.
Yeah, showing your age now, mate.
I know.
I know. Look, in one sentence, what do people still get wrong about non-league football? One sentence.
It doesn't have the same quality that you expect in the professional game.
Yeah. Do you know what? I knew that was going to be your answer. Look, let's move on into it a little bit. You're relaunching your website. What made now the right time to do
that? I think because although Substack's been reasonably good for what it's given me for the last 3 years, it's coming up to 4 years in March when I actually turned it into a paid publication. And it started off giving me what I needed, what I wanted, allowed me to drop Mondays. So I don't work anywhere apart from just on my writing at home on a Monday, but it gives me the time to actually go out and catch up with other people at times. It doesn't give me as much time as I'd like to go and really get some interviews with people. And what I really wanted to do was actually give people the opportunity just to read single articles rather than subscribe for a whole month, because I don't pigeonhole myself into any particular corner of non-league. Anyone that sees where I am on Instagram, checking in on Facebook, on Twitter and reading my blogs know that I don't just stick at the National League or at the County League. I go everywhere in between as well. So I kind of appreciate people don't want to read it all. And when I first moved to Substack, I was actually looking for somewhere that hosted that particular type of thing, and nowhere did. And the model at the time was probably more sensible in terms of, I'd need one person to click to pay $5 a month, whereas I'd need 10 people to read one article. So at the time it made sense, but now having gone through 3 years of it, I don't think it works that well for me in that respect. So that's why I've had a website built, which is almost finished, and will give people the opportunity to read a single piece if they want to, subscribe for a month or subscribe for a year. So all the options are open to them, and hopefully that's actually going to work. I don't know. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's the last throw of the dice, but it's if you don't try it, then
Absolutely, yeah. And you've actually answered all my questions about your website. Other than who's it actually for? Is it for fans, clubs, or fellow football nerds?
Absolutely everyone. Absolutely everyone. I know there's going to be pieces that some people will read that they may read and then go, actually, I'll read the next one. Down to me to make the headlines catchy for a start, and the 3 paragraphs that everyone always gets for free just gives them a little bit to think, actually, I'll go and read that. You're not always going to tell by the picture of what actually I've written about. And I try not to put too much into the first 3 paragraphs. So then you've got to make a choice, rather than I tell you it's about Burgess Hill against Lewis, and then you already know what you're going to read about. When it comes to an opinion piece, you've got no clue what else is going to go on in there. So it might entice people actually to think, actually, I'll actually subscribe for a month because it's going to cost me more to read 6 or 8 than it is to actually stick it in for a month.
Yeah. No, good. Look, is non-league football, we're going to move on a little bit more now. Is non-league football healthier now than 10 years ago, or is it just louder online than it was 10 years ago?
I think it's a bit of both. I think the clubs that drop out of the Football League into the National League, they've helped push the standard on. Those clubs that then got relegated into the South and the North have then brought those clubs along as well. But there's so many ambitious clubs and owners out there that are really pulling up the trees. You look at Horsham, for example, we've got in Sussex. Go a bit further afield, you've got Farnham and Bracknell in the Southern League, and you've got clubs as well underneath them that are at step 5 and 6 now that actually are looking at those kind of clubs. The model once upon a time was Dorking to go all the way through. Now everyone's looking at everyone else, maybe a division or 2 above them, and then trying to model themselves on them to push themselves up. And I think it's only been good that it's actually upsetting the apple cart, but it's making some of those other clubs that have not so much bumbled along, but they've been at that level and they've just kept themselves consistent at that. They've now actually got to push the boat out and really, really go for it, or they're going to get left behind.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more, to be honest with you. I'll come to Lee's question in a minute. What's the biggest myth step 1 and 2 clubs believe about step 5 to 7 football?
Sorry?
The biggest myth that step 1 and 2 clubs believe about step 5 to 7 football?
Probably that they don't matter, they don't care. The fact that they can have a day out at Wembley, the same as clubs at step 1 and 2 can, means that, as far as I'm concerned, every club at the start of the season, when they kick off in August, everyone's equal because no one's kicked the ball, no one's any better than anyone else. And if you got to Wembley, it's a step 5 or 6, step 6 club, that might be better than what a club at step 3 or 4's done. Yeah.
No, I agree. Look, Lee Penn's put on there, what's been the most enjoyable team to write for in the time you've been doing it?
Barnet, obviously. I don't know, because I actually put up a separate blog for that type of thing. I don't know. Could say any one of the 14 clubs that I write for currently at the moment. Met Police have been with me for the entire 6 years. I think I'm on column 101. I did earlier this week for them. So 101, yeah, columns I've done just for Met Police. So you times that by each one being a minimum of 500 words. That's how many. Yeah, it is a lot, isn't it? It is.
Just going to pick up on what you've done there. You've written 101, but you've got 14 clubs. Some of them you've written for just this season. Some of them, you like Met Police, you've had for 6 years. But every single one of those clubs has had a different program article for it. None of them have ever been recycled. So they're all completely different, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously some clubs do double up programs. So the same column's gonna appear in maybe a Tuesday and a Saturday column, just literally because the club's looking to save a bit of money and they've got two home games in a row. But while you might find I'll pick the same topic for 2 clubs, but both articles are exactly are nowhere near exactly the same. So it'd be a different angle, maybe on the same thing. But even rarely do I pick that. It depends as well how many clubs have got at home and what's been going on.
Yeah. No, look, I knew that. I just wanted to get it out for everyone else because I'd love to know how many articles you've written over the course of your 6 years that you're doing it. But I'm pretty...
Well, put it this way. I started with the first year I did it. I had Met Police, East Preston, and Littlehampton United. So I had 3. So I think I did something like 77 columns in a year.
Yeah.
This season, I'm up to over 170 already, and we've still got 3.5 months left to go.
Jesus. No, I am gonna try and get the other guys in because they look a bit bored. But Mike especially, has he got no wine there tonight, Mike?
No, I'm doing dry Wednesday, mate.
Dry Wednesday.
Back on it tomorrow.
obviously, consider I should be sipping the finest red wines in Paris at the moment.
Yeah.
But no sense. Can I jump in?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, I'll come back to some of mine in a minute.
Firstly, Trev, 15 years of slogging it out on the columns, the blogs, the non-league papers, the editorials, everything like that. You finally get the credit that you fully deserve. You really do.
Thank you.
Congratulations to that. I think it's brilliant, not only for yourself, it's brilliant for the brand, which you co-founded. It means that actually people might actually like what you write, and that you know, I think it's fantastic. What I want to know is, what takes you to the next level now?
Someone paying me full time to do it. That is the only level you want to get to. You know, to be quite honest.
And those kind of jobs are scarce, aren't they?
They are. They're difficult to get into. I'm lucky. I've got a big contact network. Even trying to infiltrate some of those people is difficult. As it goes, there's a few people that could potentially open doors. How far those doors open is another matter. The way of doing the blogging, potentially you can make a living from it because you combine it with a lot of other stuff as well. I've written for sites in the past, the real EFL. A lot of those guys are actually over at the deck now, so there may be potential to do something with them. I write for another magazine called Where's the Bar. None of us get paid for that, but the writers that are on there are either people that I know personally, or I've actually worked with a lot of other projects in the past as well. So there's a big amount of people that, you know, can do it. And not being funny, but any one of us four could sit there and write an article, and the style is what people like or they don't like. You know, it's that kind of simple. You know, whether I can get to that next level is another thing. You know, I look at the age I am now as well.
What, you 60, 65 now, yeah? Something
yeah, close, am I? Yeah, you know, I'd love to be. If I was retired, I would be doing it full time because I wouldn't be doing anything else. Be drawing my pension and you know, and off we go. But it's you know, and I think the one thing that's I suppose that propelled me is the explosion of social media. Without it, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. That's simple, because didn't go to uni, didn't get a degree, didn't go through down journalism routes and everything. And I know some people who are journos and good ones at that. You know, and you know, a lot of them are finding that there's no future in the print journalism. As such, they've got to come out and do something else.
Well, I've got two more questions for you. Firstly, there must have been a point in your 15 years where you thought, fuck this, why am I doing this? Banging your head against the wall.
Plenty, absolutely plenty. I haven't quite often now where I'm like thinking, you know, it's great. I've got the time essentially to do it. You know, I'm alongside working as well to try and pay the bills. But yeah, it is. There's quite often where I'm, you know, it's been a crap day at work. I don't fancy coming home and writing something, but I've got people that are paying to read what I want to see. And the one good side of it is there's never a shortage of stuff to write about. Doesn't matter which day of the week it is, what's going on. Even when you get through the summer, it just doesn't stop. It carries on. But you know, I look at some of the things I've done, and you know, people I've interviewed, the people I've got in my contact book. I could fill every day of the week with something non-league football, because there's enough people in there to give me enough content on top of everything else I can find. But just like everything else, you know, you get days where you think, you know, why am I bothering to do it? It's not actually going where I want it to go. But if you've got plenty of people supporting you and people that are giving you something back at least, then it gives you a little bit of wanting to keep going.
And my final question is, how worried are you with the fact that we could all go on 5, 6 different AI sites, put something together, put in 10 sentences or 10 keywords, and it could produce us 20 blogs. I understand what you said about the style of writing, yeah, and your style, your thoughts. How worried are you that there's going to be a big blurred line between AI created and real journalism?
Well, having seen Gaz put some of his stuff through ChatGPT and then send it to me, I've looked at it and gone, Jesus, I've butchered it to make it fit my style or sound like how I want it to go. It was so, I don't know, I don't even know what the word is, and I'm a wordsmith, but
Shite?
just to say, pardon?
No, not shite. Come on.
It wasn't shy. It just wasn't. It just
Robotic?
wasn't, not even that really. It was just more. It was more as if you were, I don't know, kind of almost two mates talking. And again, I think with the style, you can tell the difference between people that can write an article, people that have been through training to write one as well, and then you get something like that, and you can tell that that's been, computer generated. And I think the thing about, when I'm blogging as well, is that, especially when I did Barnet stuff as well, is that I never did it the moment after a game, whether we'd won, lost, drawn, or whatever, because you got too much emotion going into it. And then
isn't that good though? Sometimes, do you think?
No, because I think your emotion needs to come across at the right time. I.e., when we were crap in COVID, when Tony just absolutely butchered the club from start to finish, and it took us a few years to recover from that. You want to be a bit more scathing, a bit more emotive, and a bit more opinionated. When you go and win a title or something like that, you want to be able to put a good view across with an opinion with it, but try and measure it at the same time. And I think if you go, I mean, I've seen it way too often on social media after people have watched a loss that maybe shouldn't have been, and 5 minutes after the final whistle, they've put something up, and all of a sudden you've got 20 comments underneath it going, whoa, 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 like calm it down a little bit. And then just taking that moment sometimes just to think before you tweet, because there's always a receipt, unless you're very quick, to get it out and then delete it. So if you measured it and then put a response out there, and then people see you hit both sides, you can hit both sides of the story. You can go one side and the other, and you probably get a bit more credit, a bit more reflection better on that than someone that just goes bull in a china shop.
Well, I'm delighted that you won the award. I really hope that people out there start voting for another one. It's great to see in all types of work when hard work, when people have been grinding, actually pays off, no matter what you do. And so it's something I love to see. So I urge everyone to get out there and give Trevor a little vote. I know they supported you in the last vote, so let's get out there and vote for him again. It's a bit like election season, isn't it?
Yeah. It's only open till Sunday as well, this one. It's a really short window. And I mean, as you said, I'm up against the non-league paper in one. Glover's Cast, who I was on their podcast last year when we played Yeovil. And then in the other one, obviously, as you said, non-league Bible, which I won the story. But the guys at NL Full-Time and Joe Pope, who runs Off the Line blog, are all mates of mine as well. So up against, people that I know as well. And I know they do good stuff.
Are they going to vote for you?
I doubt it.
Have you been doing a bit of tactical voting of it?
I doubt it.
Well, let's get the link shared out there, lads, again. And to all the lads listening, let's get out there and give Trev another vote. Come on, he hasn't shut up since he won his award, and we want to keep him going. Go on.
Do we?
Nah, I'm buzzing for you, mate. Well done, pal.
Thank you.
Chris, you got anything?
Yeah, let's go.
Great haircut today, old Chris. Look.
Yeah, face for radio. Let's go with some fun ones that may or may not have been provided. Some quick fires. Right, one club everyone should watch at least once, in your opinion, and not bad.
I'd say Farnham at the moment.
Good. Best non-league ground?
Oh, Like Cray Wanderer's new one. It's class.
It's got a good. Is that Flamingo Park?
Flamingo Park, yeah. Honestly, it's got the world's. Well, I'll say the world's biggest. They've put up a screen outside. That's absolutely massive. It really is. When it comes to this summer, when they have the World Cup, they've got outside bars, got picnic tables. They've got a massive, great area. Honestly, it's worth going and having a look at what they've got there.
Oh, Mike's found his passport. What would you say is the most damaging trend in non-league right now?
I'd say probably the same as it is in the pro game of keepers going down with a tactical injury. So managers can have another reset. Really don't like it.
For anyone worrying what's going on with Mike, I'm assuming it's because Burnley have just scored and gone 1-0 up against United.
Yeah, mate, it's just the most awful deflection off Aiden Heaven. It's just slipped it in. It's just looped over the. There's nothing he can do.
Right. Any more?
Who would you say gets the easiest ride, Trev? Players, chairman, or managers?
Or players, because managers get the flack, chairman get the flack, owners get the flack. Players' mistakes are forgotten about by the following Saturday, but you haven't forgotten that they didn't put the mayonnaise out last week for the burgers.
Fair cut.
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
That's all of them.
Right, so I got 3 more. Nah, 3 more. Why does non-league football still matter?
Why does it still matter? Because it is the base of our pyramid, and without the bottom of the pyramid, everything else falls down, which the professional game forgets a lot of the time when it comes to the cup replays and little bits and pieces like that, and all the money they've got and what doesn't filter down, although a lot does, so you've got to give them a bit of credit for that. But yeah, if the bottom of the pyramid ain't there, all collapses, done it like house cards.
What keeps you turning up on a grim midweek night?
You.
Me?
Yeah, no.
You didn't last night, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I had things to do last night. Like getting 2 blogs out and another one this evening. What keeps? I think just going to watch a game of football, and if you're lucky enough that you got enough midweek different sides you can go and watch at whatever level it is as well. The fact as well is that I get a lot of people asking me about players. Have I seen so-and-so? What do you think of him? And that comes from managers in the National League all the way down to about step 3 and 4, because they know I watch that much football. I'm not a scout or an analyst or anything like that, but I still know a lot of managers that will watch players as well as going by the stats and whatever else you can get on players. So it's just keeping up with everything that's going on.
Yeah. And finally, where can people find your work, and what should they check out first on the new site when it goes live? Is it the new logo?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, when it goes live, Gaz has actually created the new logo for the site, for the actual football writing bit as well. We've had a new one created for the Monday Moment, and 2 or 3 other bits and pieces on there as well. At the moment, there isn't going to be a lot of difference to the Substack one, apart from there's going to be more categories, so you'll be able to go and search by league, potentially by club. Literally, the biggest thing of it is going to be that you can read one piece, not have to read the rest of the month if you don't want to. But if you're clever enough, you'll work out which is actually the cheapest option to do. But I'll leave that to you to sort that out when you actually read it. It's currently www.footballwriting.co.uk while I'm still on Substack. When it moves across, it will be footballwriting.com.
Oh, yeah.
You should keep the other domain though, mate.
Oh, I will as well. Don't worry. Don't you worry. You can find me in 14 different program columns, from Sussex to the southwest to the northwest, back through the south end of London, and where else am I? Somewhere else as well. I can't think where. I've got so many different clubs. Oh, and all the way through the Kent coast as well. I'm
Where
part of
can
the
they-
way through there.
Where can they find you in Sussex? Obviously, you're a Sussex-based podcast. Where can they find you in Sussex?
Yeah, in Sussex, I'm in Pagham, I'm in Lancing, I'm in Bringmer, I'm in Bognor, I'm in Lingfield. I know that's Surrey, but they're part of the Southern Combination. And I think that's it. And at the highest level, you can find me in Aldershot Town as well in the National League.
National League South next season. So,
Potentially.
look, Trev, that was great. Thanks for coming on and doing that. I say coming on and doing that. You're taking over the rest of the podcast in a second. But look, if people want to go and vote for you, well, not if people want to go for you. When people want to go and vote for you, where do they go and vote?
If you go and search for the deck, you'll find it's a nice orange and black logo thing. It's on my X page at TrevK37. It's also on it's on footballryan.co.uk on Facebook as well. I've put it on there, and I'll reshare the links out again this morning. I know the guys have done the same, but literally this one's only open till Sunday, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Nah, thanks. Now I'm just going to hand over to Trev to carry on with the rest of the podcast.
Me. I'm just going to ask Monty's question though. Which goalkeeper would go down tactically? I've seen quite a few everywhere I go. Yeah, all of them. And I think Man City.
No.
Yeah, probably. Oh, Eastbourne Town. Yeah. It's just one of those things that they'll find a way to eradicate out of the game, and then they have to find another way to have their little team talk, maneuver.
I'll tell you what, I've heard the Roffey goalkeeper does that quite a lot. Goes down tactically, wasting a bit of time.
Well, you know what? If you'd have turned up last night, guys, you'd have been able to tell us for sure, wouldn't you? But
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, was I the only one at a game? God.
Yeah, you've pretty much been the only one at games like all the way through, but we'll get to that as we go through. Right, we're going to start this evening with the Sussex Senior Cup and quarterfinal week next week. Broadbridge Heath host Worthing, Bognor Regis Town at home to Brighton Hove Albion on the 21s, Horsham YM at home to Eastbourne Borough at the 7:30 kickoff, and Three Bridges against Horsham. All games are on Tuesday evening next week. Chaps, who do we fancy for the semi-finals?
We're going to go through game by game.
Can do, yeah. Start with Broadbridge and Worthing.
Look, it's going to be tough for Broadbridge Heath, but who's that? Broadbridge Heath home?
Yes.
Could be an upset.
I mean,
I don't think it's as written in stone for Worthing as they think.
I think a lot of it. I don't know how prevalent it is that teams manage minutes during these sorts of trophies. But Broadbridge have not had a good run. It's fair to say. I think 60 feet on the bounce now. Mm-hmm. So I think if Worthing go full strength, then it's hard to look past them. They're top of the National League South. But it's if they go full strength, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they dropped points at the weekend, Worthing. Against a team you didn't expect them to.
No. Yeah, that caught me off guard as well. But that's a team at their level, not two divisions below, I suppose.
I think they've got enough to even deeper into the squad. They've got enough. They should have enough.
On paper, they have to have enough. You know that. Look, that's potentially a free hit for Simo's lads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go that kind of game can actually kick back start a season. I know they've been a rut there. I think congratulations to him as well. He's just gone 6 years in charge, isn't he?
Yep.
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. One of the nicest guys in non-league football. Great supporter of what we do on all things. So yeah, look, I'd love him to pull it off. You know, maybe take him. Does it go replay or is it on the night?
On the night.
Oh, go on, take him to Pens, and let God be the decider.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think that the upset is going to come, and I think the upset, if there's going to be one, will come from Horsham YM versus Eastbourne Borough. Okay. If I'm being honest,
I do.
we all know you do because you got a shirt for them. But I genuinely.
You didn't get a shirt, didn't you? Did you get a shirt, mate? No.
No, I don't need a shirt, mate. Anyway, I think that's where the upset's going to come from if it comes from anywhere. Because
I've seen some of the work they've done behind the scenes this week.
Yeah.
Some of the, what would you say, prep. I ain't going to give too much away because I know that they're definitely listening. And you never know, someone else might.
Ain't going to be listening. They don't even follow us.
Well, exactly. Well, I'm not surprised because at the moment they're pony, aren't they?
Yeah.
More on that to come. I think. Yeah. I mean, I got stung a little earlier in the season by suggesting Hayward Heath would knock Borough out actually at Priory Lane. And to be fair, they gave a good account of themselves for the first half. But then I think it's a 3-division gap. We shouldn't forget, And I think I'm not saying YM haven't got a chance because it's at Goring's Mead as well, is it not?
It is, and they're not going to like that pitch.
No.
I've heard that pitch is rock hard at the moment.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it might be soggy by Tuesday.
Could be, and again, they're not going to like that. They will get him in amongst them because we all know that's a young Eastbourne team still, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? What's their focus?
Staying up.
Yeah. Okay. Can YM win the league that they're in at the moment? It's doubtful.
Sorry.
And it would have to be doubtful unless Hayward Heath completely dropped out. You know what I mean? I reckon that's the shock that could happen. And only because I've seen the prep that they've done this week behind the scenes. I've actually seen the stuff that they go through. And I was like, fucking hell, this is a bit heavy. It's a bit Lebanon, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They've definitely done their own work. It won't be for the sake of the fact that it's, the gaffers that got it wrong. Maybe if the lads hadn't so much followed the plan, or at the end of the day, Eastbourne are that much better, which on paper they have to be, don't they?
Yeah.
You'd think so. I'll actually go for a third game where I think it'll be game of the night, and I think there's a potential for a shock. Three Bridges versus Horsham. On the basis of Three Bridges are just swatting all aside at the moment. They've got goals in the side. They're at home. Horsham, yes, they were good they were decent last night. But the form has tailed off a bit. I think that's fair to say.
He needed that, didn't he, Dom, last night? He needed that.
He did. Well, yeah, he did. And I think it was the perfect game at the perfect time. We'll come on to that in a bit more detail in a bit. Horsham were a step up. I mean, you wouldn't think they were the part-time outfit in that game. You just wouldn't. Like they were,
because they are full-time, aren't they, Eastbourne?
Borough, yeah. But they Horsham asserted themselves early, took the lead, and never looked like relinquishing it. Never. So but I mean, while that was a good result, Three Bridges this season have been immense, and being at near the top of the county league is one thing, but being 8 points clear or whatever it is they are at the top of the southeast.
They've scored 100 goals already.
They're insane. They're absolutely, they're absolutely brilliant this season.
Welling's wonder boys.
Yeah, indeed, and also they're brilliant. 8 points. They're 8 points clear, and I'd put good money on it being more than 8 points at the weekend. But we'll come to that later. I think that they've got more than a fighting chance.
The only thing I would say is Horsham haven't lost in the senior cup since 22-23.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Yep.
They've won it for the last 2 years. And I'm telling you now, there's no way they're going to surrender it easily. So, look, I think they'll get through that task purely because I think Three Bridges want to win the league. And, Three Bridges want to win the league. And will probably prioritise the league over the cup, to be honest with you. But I do think that if there's an upset, I think it's going to come from Horsham YM versus Eastbourne Borough.
And Bognor against Brighton under 21s?
Again, could be an upset there, but I wouldn't really class that as an upset. because I think
Why would you class that as an upset?
because they're under 21s. They're not playing adult football. A lot of these players from the
That's why.
They're full time. They're full time though.
They are, but we see it year after year. Brighton's first team, Brighton's under 21s, they very rarely do a good job in the cup.
Yeah.
I just don't think they'll ever be sort of they'll ever win it. To be honest, they obviously have won it, but I don't see them as. I mean, they won it 21-22, but yeah, I just don't think it's. Yeah, I'm distracted because I can't see what's going on.
No, Man United's had a goal disallowed. Pony.
Okay.
Sorry, mate.
Anyway,
Well, we'll see where we are this
guys. Who's going to ones?
Who's what?
Who's going to them? Anyone going to them?
No.
You're going to YM versus Borough.
It's because the league's sponsoring it. Football League Adventures is sponsoring that one.
Is he? I hadn't seen that.
Yeah. Match day sponsor.
Right, we'll see this time next week. Who was right and who was wrong.
Surely as match
pay. Cup ties. Full pay, innit? Full pay.
And it's only going to be like 6-7 quid.
Mate.
Oh God.
Mike's got to pay for a new passport, remember?
Oh yeah.
I think me and Trev know where we're going, don't we? I think that's already been planned.
Yeah, we do. We'll come to that later, Renault. Right, let's get into the National League South.
Going to use that Sten in season to get up, lads, are you?
No, they're not playing.
Well,
All right, Horsham drew 2-2 with Farnborough. Eastbourne Borough beat Tunbridge Angels by 4-3, and Worthing beat Dorking Wanderers by 3-2. On Saturday, Horsham went down 2-1 at home to Maidenhead United. Eastbourne Borough went down by the same score at Slough Town, and Worthing came from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Chippenham. Then, as we mentioned on Tuesday last night, Horsham won 2-0 at Eastbourne Borough. This coming weekend, it's the Isuzu FA Trophy 4th round, and our last survivors, Horsham, head to Leatherhead, whilst in the National League South, Worthing head to Salisbury. Chris, as we mentioned, you were at Borough last night. Gaz, will come to you about Worthing and Dorking in a couple of minutes. Crowd was a little bit low. Obviously, the cold weather probably had a lot to do with it as well. But judging by some of the comments I saw on Twitter last night just before I went to bed, that Eastbourne Borough were very much off the pace.
Yeah, they weren't brilliant at all. I think they lost, obviously they lost top scorer Pemiad Aroju, who's gone back to Peterborough. They also were missing last night Arthur Grout. Now, he's only 17, but by all accounts, he's been one of their bright sparks this season. There were scouts there from Ipswich. I do wonder, I think if they might have been looking at Grout had he been playing. But he weren't. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the crowd, I mean, I don't want to make too fine a point of it. I live in Eastbourne, obviously. It was their lowest crowd in God knows how long, since Chippenham, actually, in early November. We've got quite an old population down here. One fall could see a lot of them off. Particularly with it being so icy underfoot, I don't blame them for not coming out. It was grim. As for the football, I mean, like I said, Horsham took the lead early doors. They were banging on the door from minute one, really. Reached Miles Meekham's, got his goal, tap in at the back post, really. It was a simple goal, but he was a bright spark all night, and Borough just couldn't handle him, really. I think he's probably got quite a lot more experience than most of the Borough players, to be fair. Second half, Borough came out and were a bit more sort of on the front foot. And they did have a goal disallowed, to be fair, for offside. Seemed a little harsh from where I was stood, but I could have been missighted. And they had Anifa on the left hand side, who was giving Horsham's right back Gravata just a nightmare of a time. But once they didn't score, the heads dropped really fast. Like, they were getting frustrated, just belting the ball. I think it was the guy who signed from Aldershot, Kai
Corbett, yeah.
Yeah, there was one incident where he just belted the ball at the site at the hoardings for no obvious reason other than he just got a decision the wrong way. And I'm like, you've still got half an hour left, lads. Like, you've still got plenty of time to turn this game around. If you
do you reckon confidence is gone?
What, Borough? Yeah, I think so. I mean, Horsham, once they kind of settled into a bit of a we'll just try and hit them on the break sort of thing because Borough had to go for it, and that was how the second goal came. To be fair, it could have had 3 or 4 Horsham. I think there was a couple of occasions where you could tell they were on a bit of a barren run, 4 games without a win. Like they just kept just taking that extra touch when actually if they'd got the shot off, they might have scored. But even with that, they were still comfortable winners. Borough, yeah, I get the feeling. I mean, I think a lot of their stats kind of hide a truth that they're just so blunt in front of goal. And it sounds mad when you look at the overall figure. They've scored 33, but the reality is 45% of them goals came from Pemi Aderoju, who's now gotten, but also 45% of their goals came in 3 games. They came in the 3 wins they've had recently against Hampton, Dover, and Tunbridge.
They got 2 against Dorking, didn't they, as well?
Well, yeah, they've only at home, right? They've scored more than 2. No, they've scored 2 or more twice, right? Once was Hampton, the other was Chippenham, who are bottom of the league. They only drew that. Beyond that, they've scored 8 in 12, I think. So that'll be the worst home attack in the league. It's just they've got a couple of outliers that are just making it look like they're actually okay. But I think the reality is they just look so toothless up front.
Did George Alexander play last night?
He did, yeah. I mean, he was starved. He didn't have a great deal of service, to be fair. But he doesn't look like a 20-goal a season striker that he was last year.
Well, that's because he's only been back 3 games.
Yeah, I know he's short of fitness. But I'm not saying in terms of the stats he's had this year, but he wasn't looking at him based on that 90 minutes. He didn't look.
Yeah, I know it's difficult, isn't it, with a snapshot of 90 minutes with some of the ones I've seen this year as well. You'd say teams are world beaters or they're just not. But I think there's going to be a lot of onus on how they can get the service to him. Will be the difference between whether they stay up or not, because he is a 20-goal a season striker. That's simple, but he's got to replicate a season's worth of work in 4 months, I think, to keep him up. Gaz, you were at Worthing against Dorking just before New Year to present Worthing with their Team of the Month award for November. And when I watched the highlights back, I looked at it and I'm like, how was there only 5 goals in that game?
Oh, Dan, I couldn't tell you, mate. You've probably seen more on the highlights than I could see at the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you didn't see very much from the view of your pictures.
No. It was
Busy.
Very busy. It was just shy of 4,000, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Not great for parking. I turned up an hour before kickoff. Nearly an hour and a half at Worthing.
It's always shit round Woodside, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I turned up at 6:15. And I ended up parking, Mike, you'll know, Trev, you'll probably know, on South Farm Road by Worthing train station.
Like, yeah, I know, yeah.
You might as well got the Rattler, mate, and just walked.
I might as well have done. I parked halfway to my house anyway.
I don't know why they don't use like Worthing Eye or anything like that.
They used to. And then they had a bit of a falling out, I think, yeah. And they haven't been back since, which, would make far more sense. Especially with the crowds they're getting these days.
Yeah. No, it was a really good game, to be fair. I actually saw Brad Dollahan on New Year's Eve. He was coming out.
Good's that lad?
He was coming out of the gym. He was coming out of the gym as I was going in.
Of course he was. He wasn't coming out of the bar.
He was coming out. He was going back to his car from the gym, and I was going to get my tattoo finished. And I was running late, but I had a chat with him. He said it's probably like he really enjoyed playing the game. I said he don't really get. I said that was good because I didn't see much of it. But look, it was great. I think Worthing have got a lot to learn as a club if they go up. Those sort of crowds will be expected fairly regularly, I would guess, in the National League. In my opinion, the football was great. There should have been. I think I said it's either going to be a KG 1 or it's going to be a 4-5 all. I think I actually said that.
You did, yeah.
It could have been a 4-5 all. I think I'm going to say this and not cause trouble.
Cause trouble, mate. Don't give a shit.
There's a selection of Worthing fans that really let the club down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like I think you were at a game once, and you didn't really hear it when you're there, but you kind of see it. And the problem is Mark White invites the banter.
Oh, listen, look, he gives it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
So
not.
he
I'm
has
not.
to take
I'm
it.
not
I
defending him.
know. They. Yeah, I did hear about this actually. But look, he'll be the first to tell you he's chief instigator.
Oh, he loves it.
He should be able to take the abuse, and he loves it. It's just part of his thing.
No, he absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the case with Robbie Savage though, when it was Forest Green who came to tell?
He loves it as well. Yeah,
That's when we were there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the one where there was a statement released by the club afterwards.
Yeah,
they were calling him everything.
That's because some of those were a little bit closer. I wasn't over that side. I couldn't get anywhere near that side. I couldn't get anywhere near the pitch.
Did it cross the line? Because look, you got to realise some of these lads, there's like some youths, isn't there? There's some young uns there. Look,
youth,
you know, and that
YOOF, youth.
Yeah, but did it cross the line? Because
I don't know. I don't know.
I've never heard anything that Worthing that crossed the line.
I have. I've heard there's been a few.
Yeah.
They've got that little minority. Yeah, they've got that minority as well. A few of their fans called it out. Was it an away game earlier this year? I think it was, or was another home game?
There's a few clubs in our leagues that have got that.
There's a few everywhere. It's creeping in a little bit. It's creeping in a little bit. Literally, a lot of them. This is why a lot of clubs, sorry guys, go down the route of if you're under 16, you get accompanied by an adult, or you're not allowed in. Just literally because that's creeping in. It is. But you know, there are, and some of the problem is as well is that a lot of them see what they can get away with in society and not get punished for. They wouldn't get away with it at a Premier League game because you're covered by so many cameras, stewards, and all sorts like that.
What's worse, or the away fans chucking the flares into the home fans?
There was a flare on the pitch before the game had kicked off in that Worthing Dorking game.
Yeah, and what end did that come from?
No, it came from the Dorking fans.
Exactly. So it's a bit of banter. You know, the Dorking fans ain't bad either. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not.
One of those. It don't help. It's always going to be a needly game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
And do you know what? It was too. Go on.
Didn't they have to release a statement or something as well? Didn't they? No, that was Stenning released a statement.
That was Stenning, yeah.
I was at that game, by the way. I'll talk about that. Because
that was 2 weeks ago. I was hoping you were going to be on the Monday, but you weren't. You could talk about it then. Yeah. Old news now.
Look, I'm not taking anything away. It was a really good game of football. Like two teams, probably two of the best teams in that league playing football the way football should be played, getting it down, knocking it about. There wasn't much of the long ball, which is probably why I couldn't see too much because I was about 5 deep. And bearing in mind, just a little bit of clarity, I'm 6'4", and even I struggled. But you know what? I took the missus. It was her first game that she's actually come to football with me. She actually enjoyed it. I don't think she'll come again because it was so fucking cold. But look, it was a good laugh. And our friend's daughter was one of the mascots for that game. She absolutely loved it. So,
I mean, massive credit. I say massive credit to A, Worthing, B, Dorking, and all the fans getting 4,000 for the thick end of
it's brilliant.
4,000.
3,753, I think it was.
That's fantastic numbers.
Yeah, that'd put put quite a few football league clubs to shame. You know.
Yeah, look, you'll get 2 or 3 idiots in it when you get in that many amount of people. You get 2 or 3 idiots that a few too many sherbets or whatever they've been on the march in, whatever it is, and then that it happens. But I've never really seen it be that. Worthing's not that kind of club, I don't think.
Well, no, and we were talking before. I mean, Trev was talking in his segment about like clubs who've developed. Horsham with the example you cited, and right enough. I mean, Christ, I remember when they were a county league side. But Worthing are in that bracket as well for the way they've developed, and they've been lucky in one sense. But the way they've developed over the years has been an example that I think many ambitious non-league sides will look to follow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right, let's get into the Isthmian Premier Division. Results on Saturday. Burgess Hill Town beat Lewes by 2, and Chichester City beat Carshalton by the same scoreline. Whitehawk's game at Dulwich Hamlet was called off very, very late, I think, with teams on the pitch and all sorts. On Tuesday evening, not surprisingly, Chichester's trip to Canvey Island and Lewis's home game with Billericay Town were both postponed. And in the Velocity Cup, Burgess Hill Town went down 5-1 at home to Hashtag. This coming Saturday, Burgess Hill Town are at home again to Billericay Town. Lewis travelled to Canvey Island. Chichester City are on the road to Ramsgate, and Whitehawk host Chesham. Burgess Hill and Chichester are still just about in touch with the playoffs, but the late call-off for Whitehawk wasn't the only one of the day that was very, very late across the country. And it seems as if we had the same problem last year and the year before of people travelling, teams travelling, people paying to get in, and then the game's called off. Surely, by now, games shouldn't be starting, or people shouldn't be anywhere near a stadium if that pitch wasn't playable at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it certainly wasn't playable at 5 to 3.
No, it's mental. I've had an example of this when I was a kid growing up watching Man City. My dad pulled us out of school to go and watch an FA Cup game at Brentford on a Tuesday night. We got just off the M25, and at 6 p.m. we heard that the game had been postponed.
I had it with Man United against Blackpool.
Oh, yeah, and then back round the roundabout we went, and it's 8 hours wasted. And there was one like that actually at the weekend. I think Watford went up to, I think it was Hull, and they got there, and it was 10 minutes till kick-off, and they canned it. It's just daft. It's absolutely mental, and it's not like this weather's It's not like it's not. No one saw it coming. It's fucking January in England. We get cold weather. It happens. But yeah. So that's annoying for Dulwich. Not Dulwich, for Whitehawk at Dulwich. That's really annoying.
Remember you saying as well, Chris, like either this week or the week before, that the title race is completely over. But Averley went to Folkestone on Tuesday evening and won by a goal to nil. Well, it's back-to-back home defeats for Folkestone against Chatham and Averley. Yeah,
the annoying thing is, I think what that does do is it kind of makes that playoff, getting into those playoffs even harder for our teams. But you're right, yeah. I thought Folkestone were away, but 2 defeats at home to 3rd and 4th, I think, in Chatham and Averley. Yeah, that's now looking. I think they're 6 points clear of Burgess Hill with 2 in hand, with 2 games in hand. So it's an 8 clear of Chichester. So it's looking like it'll be 1 playoff spot for the rest, I think.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I think it's still a tough ask, I think, for sides to get in there, but plenty of football still to go.
Life of its own, this place.
Yeah, the banners are really doing some things tonight. I don't know why they've all managed to create themselves with a 10-second timer. Even I turned them all off when I created them, so I'm having to go back through and do them all. But never mind. Right, we're getting to the Isthmian South East Division. Results on Saturday. Eastbourne Town beat Sussex by a goal to nil. Hastings United and Crowborough was postponed. Sevenoaks Town beat East Grinstead by 4 goals to 2, and Three Bridges beat Broadbridge East by 4 goals to 0. On Tuesday evening, the games at East Grinstead Town and Crowborough Athletic were postponed. This coming Saturday, Three Bridges head to Beckenham Town. Broadbridge Heath are at home to Deal Town. Crowborough Athletic host Jersey Bulls at 1 p.m. East Grinstead Town at home to Erith Town. Margate head to Sussex. Eastbourne Town are on the road to Sheppey United, and Hastings United head to VCD Athletic. Gaz, do you want to ask Mike the question you were going to ask as promised 3 games ago?
Mike, East Grinstead Town down.
No.
Still?
Next question. Next question.
Next question. Can I have some of what you're on?
I think
I'm high. I think you need any of that, mate. Not like the luck I've had today.
Why are they not down?
Because they're not mathematically down, are they?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what grades you got at school in maths, mate, but are they down or not?
Well, they've got 4 points out of 24 games, and they've got less games to go than they've already played. So
how many games have they got to go?
22?
8.
22. potentially 66 points there.
They haven't got 22 games left.
My maths told you my maths ain't great.
They play 42, don't they, in that division?
Yeah,
They got
18.
Look, it's been made tough, isn't it? I think the lads know that.
If they carry on at their current points per game, they'll finish on 7.
Okay.
Is that going to be enough to get them out?
No, they're currently 19 points adrift.
Okay.
Even Shoreham would finish above them.
But what might help Mike is I think Sevenoaks, Eastbourne Town, Hastings United, Crowborough, and Hassocks might have played 28 ineligible players each, and therefore.
No.
I think the interesting thing now, actually, Mike, might put it back to a serious level as well, is obviously the position they're in now, and we've got 3.5 months left of the season. Do you start looking at the players you want to have next season?
I spoke on this on another podcast a few days ago.
Not as good as this one, though.
No. But
Go on.
numbers will tell. Numbers will always kill. As we said, we're talking about points now.
Numbers will tell. Take Billy Wood off the podcast, see what happens. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's just a little bit of friendly banter, you know.
That's a fair one. It's a bit tough because I jump between them. But what I'm saying is, it's really tough. It's going to be really tough. And actually, this is funny that you mentioned Billy. So Billy said, "What if as he's been a CEO, yeah, and we know that." He said he would have probably packed up shop now and thought, right, we're potentially down. Pull that money, if there was money in there, and use that to build again for next season, which I see from a business point of view, and I look at it from a business point of view, that would probably make sense. Yeah. Would that make sense for the fans? Effectively giving up in that way? No, you can't have that. You can't give that perception.
I don't know.
I think they might. Just before you go on to the next bit, though, if you look on Twitter, though, a lot of their fans are already resigned to the fact that they're not going to get out of it because of they can't see an improvement. So possibly not. That would probably say to them, you know, we know the game's up as well as you do. Let's try and enjoy the next 3 months and get some kind of pride, respectability back.
Well, you're right. You lads have been reading the comments, and are they calling for managerial change?
No, nothing like that. No, just literally, it hasn't got any better from what they had to what they've got now. And you know they've watched the season all the way through, which you can understand. So no, there's nothing like that. They're just resigned to the fact that look, it isn't. However you try and dress it up, however you try and coat it, you know, it is a mammoth task. You know, mathematically we know they aren't down, but you've got to pull off 12, 15 game unbeaten run of wins. You know, so. Anyway,
it's going to be. It would have to be the most remarkable comeback. I think. Do you remember about 15, 20 years ago, West Brom did it in the Prem? Do you know what I mean? They went
vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, Brian Robson was manager at the time. Look, I like the two gaffers that are in charge. They're really good guys, and don't forget they've been good to us. They've always supported what we've done. They knew that, and I've said this many a times. They knew what they were taking on, the challenge. Yeah. And
they did it because they did it for love of the club, right?
100% they did. You're spot on there.
Yeah, there's no question that. Like, I'm not being funny. I'm not saying it was a lost cause prior to them coming, but it weren't much beyond. It wasn't like it was an above even money shot. It was always a long shot that they'd stay up, like when they took the gig. So, you know, because East Grinstead came to the Saffrons a couple of weeks ago, and the fans there were, you know, it was gallows humour, but they weren't calling for Andy and Grant to go, not at all.
No,
there's none of that.
If they had the side, right, I haven't seen them this year, lads, you know, so, and I know you guys have. If they'd had the side they had now, or the players they had available, from the start of the season, would they be where they are now?
They're still averaging 4 goals conceded a game. That's the problem. So it's hard to say they'd be much higher. I don't think. Would they be in the relegation zone? I don't know. I mean, you've got having Louis Theophanis for a whole season, right? And
Yeah,
people wanting the bullets for him.
difficult. It's difficult to say, Mike, because if that money was there beginning of the season for them to attract the players they've bought in now, they'd had them through pre-season and they were fit and ready to start. Then I think it's a different story. But you can't tell what would happen. You know, they may well have gone in, not had much more of a bigger budget, but been better positioned. You know, you just don't know. But you know, there's definitely nothing to suggest that people are wanting a managerial change, because that isn't the answer. And I think it's just a despondency of what they've watched this year.
Yeah. No, look, it's So going back to the original question, then is look, it's a massive ask. I don't want to put anyone down, you know, but it's a massive, massive ask. Now, if you're saying they're 19 points clear, that's minimum 7 games with all results going their way. You know, then you start getting into mid-Feb, you know, when you start getting into March, what I call a business end. Yeah. It's a tough one. Look, it'd be a great fucking story if they did pull it off. Do you know what I mean? They might even write a book or make a film about it.
Well, there'd be a lot of humble pie eating, wouldn't there? You know, especially by Gaz, who relegated him 3 weeks ago.
I've said I'm always have to be proved wrong, but I wasn't wrong last year about Bogner, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to be wrong this year.
You're probably not, Gaz. You know,
it's hard. I don't want to see them get relegated.
There's only one team There's only one team I could really relegate out of all our leagues at the moment. We all know what that one is. Do you know what I mean? So
sure.
No.
Eastbourne Borough.
It's not East Preston either. I'm running out of clubs now. I'm not sure who he does.
They get about 12 fans a week.
Copthorne.
Oh, Copthorne. Yeah. Right, let's wind it back to Saturday. Chris, you were at the Saffrons for a cold Eastbourne Town against Sussex.
I was.
Just a single goal to warm your cockles.
Yeah, but warm my cockles, it very much did. No, it was. I mean, look, Town are not particularly frequent goal scorers, and nor are Sussex, so it was never going to be a particularly high-scoring game. I was surprised with how blunt Sussex looked, despite their goal tally. I mean, they were missing also Jack Troke, which for them is quite a big miss. So that helped. Chris Winterton didn't really have a great deal to do. As for Town going forward, Alfie Rogers smashed the bar in the first half, and then it was maybe Billy Clark, who we've just brought in from Lewis on loan, I believe, who scored the only goal of the game. He gave us an impetus down the left, which was useful. It was very quick, very good technically. So yeah, it's just what we needed really, and that it kind of arrests. Well, no, that's 7 points out of 9 now against East Grinstead, Crowborough, and Sussex, which is going to be huge in Town's battle to stay up, I think. But that means we're now 11 clear of the relegation zone for now, which feels big, but given the run I know we've got coming in March, we need it to be this big now because it could well get eroded. But good performance, good result.
Really good. Just before we move on to South Central, a couple of big games on Saturday. Obviously, East Grinstead hosting Erith Town is big, and Hastings heading to VCD. It's very big for those bottom 4 positions.
Go on, Dave.
Is it go?
It is. It is. I just wanted to give a shout to Three Bridges actually, because I said earlier about I think their 8-point lead will get extended this weekend. So they're at Beckenham, who are struggling in 21st place. But then you've got all the others have got quite hard games. Whiteleaf and Sittingbourne face each other. Croydon go to Ashford, who are on fire at the moment. And Faversham go away to Merstham, which is never an easy place to go. So you could feasibly look at a situation where Three Bridges win and neither of the rest of the top 5 do. So they could be double figures points clear at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, stunning job they're doing up there, and just blowing everyone away.
Right. You lot drove me to dry Thursday, you have.
I think United have driven you to dry Thursday.
But bloody hell, 1-0 against Burnley.
There you go. See, right into the Isthmian South Central, and on New Year's Day, Littlehampton Town won 4-1 at Bognor Regis Town. On Saturday, Littlehampton's trip to Fareham was called off after they arrived, and Bognor Regis went down 4-2 at home to Horndean. This coming Saturday, both sides are at home. Bognor entertaining South Park, and Littlehampton Town are at home to Southall. I went to football on Thursday and thought it was Saturday, just because it's such random day of the week.
Game?
That was a Littlehampton game, yeah.
Is that the one I said I'd meet you at, providing I didn't get battered the night before?
Yeah. And I knew you wouldn't make it, so I wasn't expecting you to be there. But 1,281 others other than me were there as
it's a good
well.
game, wasn't it?
It was explosive and practically all over inside 20 minutes because Littlehampton
Mitch the boy
were absolutely relentless. They really were. The recently recalled Lucas Pattenden to Horsham was superb in the first half and contributed to all 3 goals, I think, if I'm right. And Bognor did get one back just before half time with a penalty. As a referee didn't allow a lot of physical contact in the box.
Bognor versus Littlehampton?
Yeah.
Which is on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
and
three penalties.
Didn't let anything slide.
No,
Does
3 penalties.
Know those 2 teams?
Yeah. Well, Marshall got away with a bit of an altercation just on the half time, after the half time whistle. Yeah.
I like Marshall.
So, yeah, but three penalties in total. Bognor scored the first. Littlehampton scored the second, which was a good spot kick from Marshall actually. And the third one was the most clear cut of the lot, which Billy Collins, the Littlehampton goalkeeper, brought Bognor player down, but redeemed himself with a penalty save. And I think that kind of deflated the crowd a little bit. They did have 3 or 4 good one-on-one chances, Bognor, which Billy saved, all coming his way. And Littlehampton really didn't have to do much second half. They literally could sit back. The first half, Lucas and Marcel Powell down the left-hand side just absolutely skinned fullbacks.
How good's that, Marcel?
Yeah, well, we said if he stays fit for the season, which he hasn't been able to because he's only just come back from injury, that was probably going to be the difference for them in their season. I think if you've had both of those two, starting every game, they'd probably
about my boy
higher.
Sparks? How was he playing?
Yeah, Tejan did. I think he picked up a booking. He did quite well.
He was good for a bet builder.
He's in New York at the moment, isn't he?
He
He's in New York at the moment.
He's always dashing about, is he, old Sparks?
There we go. He was up against Isthmian League J, who scored the Bognor penalty. He's actually been playing really well for Bognor this season. And you could tell Tejan had his hands full a little bit through the afternoon. But again, first season at that level, isn't it, I think? Or did he go? No, he went partway through last year, didn't he? So his first full season.
I signed him when he was 17.
But very decent.
At a half, I didn't do my halftime team talk. I let my assistant do that because I saw him in the ground and signed him there and then. By the way,
there we go. And then 6 changes at the weekend from the Littlehampton defeat, and they went and shipped 4 again to a Horndean side that are in the bottom 4. And we thought 3 home games, 9 points, really give them an oomph up the table. But Littlehampton have caught them up instead in the middle.
It's consistency all season has been, isn't it?
Yeah, for both sides, to be fair.
It's 3-0, 3-0, lose 3-0.
Well, when we got to 3 on Saturday, I was with Pete Stone and Andy Alman, whose son Joe plays for Bognor, and we were saying before the game, he said, "What do you reckon?" And I said, Littlehampton's game, they either score 3, concede 3, or there's an aggregate of 3 in the game. So I said, well, surely Bognor should win, shouldn't he? A bit like Worthing should beat Chippenham on Saturday. Obviously, within 20 minutes, Littlehampton are 3-0 up. And I said, well, this ain't going to plan. And then after Worthing drew 2-2 with Chippenham on Saturday, I texted him Saturday evening. I said, you nearly called that one. in the right manner as it was.
Did you hear Jamie L's post-match?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't had a chance to.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I saw bits of it. He was absolutely livid, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, I don't think me and him have always seen eye to eye before in things like that. He's a brilliant coach, fantastic, by the way, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, he speaks real though, and you could tell he was gutted about that. He really, really was. But it's refreshing to see someone actually come out and rather than go, we were the best team and we had all this possession and that. No, he just come out and actually just said it how it was, and that was good. I thought.
Fair enough. Right, let's get to the Southern Combination Premier Division and results on Saturday. Guernsey beat AFC Vardinians by 2-1. Bexhill United and Peacehaven Telscombe was postponed. Eastbourne United beat Crawley Down Gatwick by 1-0. Hayward Heath Town beat Wick 4-0. Horsham YM and Midhurst and Eastbourne was postponed. Stenning won 7-2 at Lancing. Lingfield against Seaford Town was postponed. Newhaven drew 1-1 with Little Common. Pagham against Roffey was postponed, and Forest Row won 3-1 at Shoreham. On Tuesday evening in the Sussex RUR Charity Cup quarter-final, Roffey beat Oakwood by 4-0, and the Premier Division game between Midhurst and Eastbourne Lingfield was postponed. This coming Saturday, Guernsey host Eastbourne United at 2 p.m. It's Horsham YM against Hayward Heath Town, Little Common against Lancing, Peacehaven and Telscombe head to Midhurst and Eastbourne, Pagham host Crawley Down Gatwick, Roffey are at home to Lingfield, but a 5 p.m. kickoff at Stenning Town.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. And Wick are at home to Bexhill United. Guernsey up into third with a home win against the AFC Vardinians, but by the looks of things, they were made to work very hard for it.
Look, there's a big thing about Guernsey, isn't it? I've been over there. I've spoke to the gaffer. They're a really good side, by the way. Really good side. Also a side that might have the best resources, such as ground. They've certainly got the best ground in the league by far, and the best facilities. But obviously, they don't normally travel very well, because these guys have got jobs. They don't get paid. They don't get paid. People that think they do get paid, that's bollocks. They don't. I know that for a fact. They don't get paid. They get the little expenses to travel, and that's it. You could see why they would be in a higher league if they were able to travel as well. I mean, we found out the Jersey lot, which is obviously the island next to it, majority of their players are actually based over in the UK, as we were saying. But look, Guernsey got a really, really good team. And when you go over there, expect to have 600, 700, 800 fans shouting you down. They're very, very nice fans. They're not like yobs, you know what I mean? You would expect that over there, with the old pinky and the tees and that. And there's a few quid over there, definitely. But they got a really, really professional setup. It's just the fact that if you catch them on the away day, you catch them on a Tuesday night over here, you got to fancy your chances. If you go over there, you got to work for it. You have to work for it.
Can I just myth bust you on that point? And now, admittedly, they got relegated last year. They were a step higher, but they've actually got the third best points per game ratio away from home this season in the league.
Really?
Yeah. So 1.91 points per game there when I did my stat show.
Who's got the best then? Obviously Hayward Heath.
Hayward Heath and Stenning are top 1 and 2 and very close together. And then it's Guernsey just ahead of Newhaven and YM. Oh, hang on, and Bexhill actually.
All right.
So Guernsey.
Stat man, tell me how many points they've took off the top 6 on our soil. You can come back to that.
I can come back to that if my computer allows, because I actually do have it.
Back to that one.
I'm interested in that.
Couple of big games this weekend in the division. Obviously, Guernsey hosting Eastbourne United and Horsham YM against Hayward Heath, and the big two this week. Mike, you heading to Horsham Saturday, or is that?
I am supposed to be, but it'd be a bit ironic because I'm actually with one of the teams the week after.
I was going to ask when Hayward Heath's Vars game was.
Yeah, I'm on the bus for the old Hayward Heath for the Vars. I've managed to squeeze on there, which is going to be a great day away at Great Yarmouth. Look, do I reckon many games will be on this weekend? No. Have you seen the weather coming in?
Well, temperatures down here where I am are supposed to be rising a little bit.
I'm not Michael Fish, but I tell you what, there is a storm coming in, boys, and there is a lot of snow and that coming in.
Apparently, Wales, my mates on the west of the Pennines are worrying because Glossop does get quite a lot of snow when it snows, and they could be stuck for a few days. But
look, if that game goes ahead, massive, big game.
Can I just shout out? Sorry, you did kind of mention it, Trev. Vardinians, the job they did at Guernsey, they've only conceded 7. Actually, they've got neutral goal difference actually over the last 6 games. They've only conceded 7 in 6. Now that doesn't sound fantastic, but compared to where they were at like a month ago, that is phenomenal. And they've had some tough games in there. You know, YM, New Haven, away at Guernsey, Bexhill as well away. So they've had some tough games and they've been resolute. So no, fair play. I know I said it last week. I'll say it again. Fair play, Vandinians. The job they're doing at the moment, something's obviously changed, and it seems to be bearing fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let me change the banner. There we go. See, all the banners are sorting themselves out now. Right, let's get into Division 1. Results on Saturday in the Division 1 Challenge Cup quarterfinal finished Arundel 2, AFC Walcountians 3. What? In Division 1, Oakwood and Copthorne was postponed. Selsley beat Billingshurst by 2-1, and East Preston beat Infinity by the same scoreline. Games at Loxwood and Worthing United were postponed. Dorking Wanderers B beat Saltdean by 1-0. On Tuesday evening, as we mentioned, Oakwood lost 4-0 to Ruffy in the RUR Charity Cup quarterfinal. The Division 1 game between Arundel and Loxwood was postponed. This coming Saturday, AFC Walcountians host Dorking Wanderers B. Arundel head to Billingshurst. Copthorne are at home to Reigate Priory. Selsley head to East Preston. Finity host Loxwood. Saltdean United head to Jarvis Brook. Oakwood host Godalming Town at 2 p.m. Ringmer AFC are at home to Mile Oak, and Worthing United are at home to AFC Uckfield. Gaz, you gone, Chris?
I think Saltdean are actually at home
to Jarvis Brook.
Yeah, I thought you said they head to Jarvis Brook. Was that no? They're at home.
Are they? That's changed then, considering from when I looked at it yesterday.
I've definitely got it.
I had them away.
Oh, if Jarvis Brook are listening, get back to me. I'll send you a message.
Superb. Gaz, you caught the second half of Arundel and AFC Walcountians last Saturday? No?
Well, I did. I got there at half time.
And you caught the second half then?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, because I took my daughter and she got cold and was like, "Oh, go home, Daddy." So I went home. I managed about 25 minutes, I think, 20 minutes. I actually left just as Arundel pulled a goal back. They went 2-0 down. I'll be honest with you, another game that I think probably shouldn't have gone ahead because the pitch was solid. And you could actually.
I heard it shouldn't have been played, mate.
Nah. Again,
I know Jimbo weren't happy about it, was he?
No, I didn't get to. I'll be honest with you.
Jimbo's a good guy, mate. He's a good guy, out Jimbo.
I didn't get a chance to speak to anyone, to be honest with you. It sounded like they're running on concrete.
I'll tell you what, Shoreham did well to get theirs on. They had the old kettles out. Did you see that?
I did see they were running between.
Packham tried the cars, didn't they, on the pitch?
That was brilliant.
Yeah. What was Lemmy's lot doing there? I know Monty weren't happy with it, was he? Because
I've seen Bogney used to do that as well in years gone by, getting cars on the pitch.
Turned up and there's fucking cars on the pitch.
Whatnot. But some great results at the weekend for Selzy and East Preston. Obviously, we've talked about Selzy quite a bit in the last few weeks as well, but they are right on the edge of that playoff race now. They really are. And obviously, Infinity going down again, I think the second week in a row, it's really opened things up in that top 4 behind Godalming.
I reckon that's why Pierce is waiting to come on. He's waiting to come on. And when there may be one or two, Darren, if you're out there, mate, we know you want to come on. Get on.
Well, that's 3 defeats in a row for Infinity, because it was Ringmer, Selzy, and East Preston. So they've lost 3 on the bounce.
All 2-1, is that right?
Could be. Let me check. Yeah, one. No, one was 1-0. They lost at Selsey 1-0. Sorry. So that means, by the way, that there's 2 points separating 5 teams. Billingshurst, Infinity, Worthing, United, Arundel, and Selsey, all within 2 points of each other.
Yeah, I got 6 points, 2nd to 7th.
Yeah. No, 4 points, isn't it? Unless.
Is it?
Yeah.
How's that? 4.
Yeah. Because, Selsey, Walcoutings are on 32. And Billingshurst 36. By the way, on the Selsey, on the Saltdean game, Saltdean's own website says they're away at Jarvis Brook, but the SCFL say that it's at Hill Park. So,
and what does FA full time? Because that's what I was going by. I don't go by the County League website.
But the County League website is now just a direct feed from full time, and it says it's at Hill Park.
Hill Park.
I now believe the SCFL. I am now. This year is all about peace, and they've been nice.
Well, someone might want to tell Saltdean then. I don't know. I actually trust Saltdean.
Come on, Bell Lowell. Get him on the phone and say,
I'm
Lowell,
doing
what are you
it
playing,
now.
mate?
Basically, if you're making
Send him
plans,
a message and ask him where he's playing.
if you're making plans, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't. Given what the weather might be like, even if it was at Lime Kiln, I wouldn't be surprised if it flipped it anyway. But yeah, might want to double check where that game's being played because I've got
get that one sorted. Anyway, a couple of big games this weekend as well. Arundel heading to Billingshurst and Selsey heading to East Preston as well. There's a couple of tasty ones in there, a bit like the Premier Division, I think, this weekend.
Arundel Billingshurst.
Yeah. And
That game ain't going to be on, is it?
I was going to say, where's that?
It's at Billingshurst at the moment.
There's a storm coming in. And Billingshurst, who's supposed to be at home, Arundel?
No, Billingshurst. Well, it doesn't matter really, does it? They're both.
They've been playing at Worthing, though, no? They've been doing some bits down at Worthing, haven't they?
Yeah, Worthing are away, aren't they? So potentially that might see a change before the weekend. But as it stands, it's at Billingshurst.
Billingshurst are 3 without a win as well.
Yeah,
I know.
It's it's
no one but Moslot want to win that league.
Or Selsey at the moment, it seems.
Yeah,
making Selsey are doing their Arundel, doing the Arundel run from last season, I think, aren't they? So, that's the way that's going to go. Right, let's get into the step 7s.
It's close, isn't it?
Very close. Right, let's get into
can't even write off EP.
No, it's a bit of a stretch, but they got to be consistent, which they aren't, which is their problem. Whereas the ones above them are, although Infinity and Billingshurst have lost a few in a row, they've been consistent the first half of this season to get there.
You can't say that. EP have been consistently inconsistent.
And they've had a change now, haven't they? They got a new chairman in there.
They have a new chairman in, yeah.
Pro player in Brasilia. And, yeah.
Check out their Twitter, Chris, after the show.
Yeah, good. Kevin, that do all right in there, to be fair.
Right, into step 7, and not many games survived the weather, surprisingly, last weekend. Just one in Division 2, which finished Worthing Town 3, ASC Brighton Rangers 3. This coming Saturday in the Sussex Intermediate Challenge Cup, Westfield head to Southwater. TD Shipley hosts Battle at Stenning Town. So if you fancy doing a double at Stenning on Saturday, you've got TD Shipley against Battle and then Rocky against
TD Shipley, what are they, like 13 or 14 wins in a row? The old shit?
Yeah, but it's the Cup on the weekend.
Even so.
And Harrison Town host Jesters. In Division 2 is ASC Brighton Rangers against Bosham at Lancing FC. Brighton Electricity host Rustington. Worthing Town heads to Chichester City B. Ferringer at home to Capel. Upper Beeding at home to Alfold. And Storrington host Rudgwick at 3 o'clock. In the Mid-Sussex Prem, only one survived the weather last week, which finished French's Athletic 1, Cookfield Rangers 3. This coming Saturday in the Sussex Intermediate Cup, Cookfield Rangers host Hollington United at 1:30. In the Surrey FA Saturday Premier Cup, actually being played on a Saturday, French Athletic head to Farley Rovers. And in the Premier Division, Holland Sports host Balcombe, Rotherfield head to Linfield, Reigate Pro Reserves are at home to Punnets Town, and Crowkhurst are at home to Shoreham Seconds, 3 p.m. at Eastbourne United. In the West Sussex are finally off their midwinter break. Dale United are at home to Wartsfield, Harting are at home to Billingshurst Reserves, Horsham Crusaders versus AFC Fishbourne, Petworth versus TD Shipley Reserves, and Wittering United are at home to Holbrook. We said last week, last Monday when we recorded, of the sides that had applied for promotion. Apparently, Crowhurst and French's Athletic have applied. The deadline was...
Crowhurst have now?
Yeah, Crowhurst have, because they're playing at Eastbourne United, and French's Athletic play at Mersham. But neither of those two had applied by the time the list I'd seen, which was the 19th of December, but they had until the 31st of December to actually get their application in. So it could be a three-way race in the Mid-Sussex. It could be a one-way race. We're not quite sure. I was having a chat with Jack last week. So we're not quite sure on that.
Just a confirmation. I've just had a quick look. Saltdean are actually at Hill Park. That's what they put out on Instagram about 4 hours ago.
Superb.
Someone might want to tell their website. But yeah, I've actually bumped into a couple of people from Crowhurst at the Saffrons on Saturday. And they were, definitely on the we're going to hopefully get promoted bus. It's a shame they didn't do it last season from their point of view, because obviously they would have gone up.
They were the best team in that league.
So,
imagine being Rustington and walking. I've said it before. Walking SCFL Div 2 for the last 4 or 5 years, and then this year potentially missing out on promotion.
And this guys are in it. I know this year that behind the scenes they've got a lot more news behind the scenes. You know what I mean? A lot more people there that want to actually put something in. I don't know. Maybe it's a hostile takeover coming at Wick. I don't know.
Who knows? Right. Team of the week, team of the month. Team of the month for December was won by Peacehaven and Telscombe. 55% of the vote, and we had 293 votes. I wrote down somewhere. Was actually, I think, the best we've had this season by 100, and over 200 more than we had in November. So well done to Peacehaven. I think it's on your list, isn't it, Mike, to get there this season?
I've actually been to Peacehaven already this season.
Have you?
Yeah, only when I was doing the 90k walk where I was in a van with Seaford. But
that's fun. You can go to the trophy.
They did take me around. They're beautiful.
Nice, isn't it?
And,
really
and they're
nice.
Inside where the players are. Really nice. It's really well professionally laid out. I don't mind going down there. The people behind the bar are lovely there, you know. By the way, lads, Man United are 2-1 up.
There's a fellow. There's actually a fellow Manc who works at Peacehaven as well. I met when I did the PB Cup final last year. The one thing I can't get my head around with that ground is just how far the dugouts are from the halfway line and how hard.
A lot of them are. When they put the 3Gs,
they are like that, aren't they?
Ridiculous. Yeah. It's the lino I feel sorry for when there's a bleeding substitution needing to be made.
That second half, when there was subs being made all the time, the Crowborough staff were losing their minds trying to just contact the linesman. Like, they need to ring him. Like, he's so far away.
But if you look there, 3G New Haven, 3G Peacehaven, 3G Saltdean, all up there.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be some fighting for some players up there. There will be, because do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. In that bit.
So, are you going to go and do that one then? Because they've only got one home game between now and the 7th of February.
Okay, so when is that? Because you do know I'm off to America.
Yeah,
that
is on the 17th of January.
Right, 17th of January, I am away with Great Yarmouth. So
we get it in at some point. We get it in at some point.
I can do it when I get back from Vegas, mate.
That's Derby. That's Derby Day and town at home to deal. So I'm going to be spending all day in the gun. No, it's good. Mike, that's the bar at the Saffrons Gun Brewery. That's all it is.
You know, I've never been to the Saffrons, mate. I'm waiting for you to invite me. I'm waiting for Billy Wood to invite me to Hastings and Dave Altendorf. I'm waiting for you to invite me to the Saffrons. I'm waiting for Trev and Gareth to invite me to Stenning. I'm waiting.
I don't really Stenning. I've literally been to Stenning once this season.
I'll do that if you invite me to Horsham YM. No.
Don't get a burger, will you? I got a burger review as well. You know,
You have got that in there, yeah. We'll do that.
I better find it then, haven't I?
Oh, hang on. It's not that one you put in the group, is it?
From Worthing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all count. Right, just before we finish on this one, there's 5 flipping Saturdays in this month, which really doesn't do us any favours. So the announcements we'll do on Sunday the 11th, 18th, 25th, and 1st of Feb to round the month off. It's a pain in the bum. Right, you found it, Gaz?
Yeah, I got it.
Good. There you go. You're up.
4.5 out of 10.
For
Worthing Football Club.
oh, why?
Shit.
Well, don't mince your words.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you about reviewing food, mate, but we might need a little more than that.
Right.
Yeah.
It got 2 points for a brioche bun. The burger was decent. Got cheddar cheese. Right, so we're looking great. Like we're on for it.
So what's going on?
They don't do bacon.
They don't do
Let me
bacon.
finish. No, don't do bacon. Right. The bun's not toasted, and to top it off, the cheese ain't fucking melted. So it's cold.
I've got a feeling, by the way. I think is it a private catering company? Are you sure?
Oh, are they doing them back inside the hut on the corner?
It's only because the same 3 people that I saw in there the other day were the same 3 that run the boozer over the road from me.
Nah, it was. I don't think so. I know.
I'll tell you what.
Dan, put it this way, Dan wasn't one of the people behind there. I know him.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, so you do know then? You do know
I know.
then, yeah?
I know Dan. Yeah, I don't know him.
Oh,
I know of him.
that's a fair one.
It weren't him. It's taken inside. What the comment that I've put? They do high volume, right? There was the best part of just shy of 4,000 people there that game. That's fine. But Horsham do high volume, and look at what they produce. Right,
Horsham's the best ones around.
Yeah, Stenning. They don't do the volumes. They don't do the 13, 14, 1,500 people through the gate. I get that. I can't put them in the same category. But
well, your Bundesliga says you do.
Yeah, I put the whole thing together, but I can't put the. Yeah, it was shit.
Don't mince beef your words, mate. I'll tell you.
He's not easy. It's not easy. But Gaz, I did send you the picture of the burger I had at Bognor on New Year's Day.
Mate, it looks incredible. Again,
Brilliant.
They're doing high volumes.
Very good. Huh?
They're doing high volumes though.
They were those
2,000 was it?
But the other, sorry.
Was it 2,000? You said they had?
No, 1,200.
Oh, 1,200.
Nearly 1,300. Yeah.
Has anyone took you up on your catering day yet?
No.
Yeah. Why not?
No.
Is that because they're a bit worried that
Probably,
you might do a decent job? And take
probably because I spend too much time slagging people's burgers off, to be honest with you.
You should just slag teams off. All they do is unfollow me. There's one team that unfollowed me last week.
Who's that?
I ain't saying. They know who they are.
Who is it?
They know who they are.
No, who is it? What location?
Burnley just scored.
What location? Whereabouts in Sussex are they? Come on, mate. You can't normally shut you up. Now you're going all coy and shy.
For someone who says it how it is, you're not saying it how it is.
I don't have to. If I speak, I am in trouble.
Yeah, he's already done that, hasn't he? So
to be fair, I am fresh off my Sussex hearing ban, and I know, by the way, lads, I know, by the way, there are a couple of Sussex FA people listening here now. I'd just like to say, I thought that the Staffordshire FA, who dealt with my case, done a very wonderful and professional job. And for the team that wrote the 52-page report about me, 52, had you put more time into your tactics on the day in the match, you might have actually won rather than trying to slag me off. And guess what? I accepted the £20 fine. Fuck you.
£20.
Sorry, I had to get off my chest. and they will fine me £100 for saying that as well, because they told me if I mention it, I'm going to be fined £100.
Have you paid it already?
Did you accept the £120 fine?
It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? The team know who they are. Midday Snack or wherever they are. 52 pages they've written on me. 52.
What size font?
I mean,
yeah.
And
So
do you know what? Do you know what the only video evidence they had as well? Was mine. Was my stream. And they doctored it as well. They actually doctored my own stream. Yeah.
There's a problem with AI,
which made them look very stupid. You can find me again. Find me another £100. It's all right.
And again,
anyway,
right.
Shout out to but for Sussex FA, I won't say nothing no more. This year is all about peace. Okay? Peace and love. All right? Here's an olive branch.
It reminds me of Yasser Arafat. Right, who's got any shout outs?
Yeah, I got one.
Go on.
Shout out Lewis Carey reaching 150 appearances.
Oh, I've got that one.
Got it. I already put that on Instagram the other day.
I have more. Also in the 150 club, Alfie Davison at Pagham, and in the 200 club, Jack Brevio at Horsham.
Oh, they didn't put that on there.
See, you got to be following everywhere. This is why I am the non-league wizard. So congratulations to all three. Roy.
But Horsham put something out about Lewis Carey.
Yeah, Jack Brevio was before that.
Oh, fuck it. I'm on it now.
Follow all the channels, man. Anyway, congratulations to those three. Chris, Mike, any?
Oh, I've got a shout out. Can I shout out? Have you boys had your new style apparel drop yet? Come through?
No.
You haven't?
No.
I know it's arrived, by the way.
I haven't got my address, so how are they going to drop it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got the Moon Man coming, the new designs from New Style Apparel. Looks sick. I'll put some pictures out tomorrow. It's on the back. It's on the back. And that's it's on the back. I look forward to that. Shout out to who's it? Shout out to my mum for being my mum. Shout out, mum. She don't watch it. She don't know what I do.
Good stuff.
I was going to say, she found your passport.
If she did, that'd be lovely. But no, don't matter. But no, yeah, I'll get some pictures up of that new style apparel. It looks really good, and your stuff, all of your stuff, it's all personalised as well.
Marvelous, lovely. Chris,
just shout out to Pat Harding and the people at Sussex. Pat, he clocked me as I was on my way out of the Saffrons into the bar because of the unique positioning of the bar there, and he was just in the queue to paying his own way in, which I think says a lot about the guy. When he's obviously, the chairman of Sussex.
Pat had to pay to get in, did he?
Yeah, no, he was seemingly doing it of his own volition. I'm pretty sure.
I'll tell you, do you know what? He's just a great guy. He is you'd love him as a chairman. Do you know what I mean? He recognised us. He's only met us once or twice. So for him to recognise us on the way out of the ground, that's just them out of the ground. And I said it to everyone at Sussex when they came at the Saffrons. I hope they stay up massively. So
the price of fame, Chris. Wait till you start winning awards, it gets even worse.
Right, we've got a long way before that happens.
When you start winning awards, you become an arrogant bastard.
Most fine bloke on it.
Right, where are we off to this Saturday and Tuesday?
España.
You're missing both?
Nah.
Are you back Tuesday?
I'll be back Tuesday, yeah. Don't you worry about that, Trevor.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my half and half scarf to YM Hayward Heath.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna just sit in the middle of them until I honestly don't think it'd be on.
Yeah,
I don't think with the weather that's coming in, I don't think many games would be on. If not, I'd love to go and see that Billingshurst game. Do you know what I mean?
Wherever it may be.
I'd also want to go. Do you know? I want to go see the ship. I want to go see TD Shipley. I want to go see what's going on down there. 14 on the bounce or whatever they are.
If you go to Stenning Saturday, you could do a double.
Do TD Shipley, and he doesn't do doubles, does he? He leaves halfway through the second one.
I don't want to go Stenning. I might get abused like I got last time.
I've heard Mike does doubles.
I do
Yeah,
double
yeah,
shots,
whiskey,
yeah.
that's it.
Double whiskey, double
Yeah.
tequila.
That's it. Chris, what you got going on?
Do you know what? I don't know. Town are away at Sheppey, which I'm not going to lie, is a
Nah.
massive slap. I'm not sure. And also,
you know what? Going to Sheppey is almost as depressing as staying in Eastbourne on a winter's day, isn't it?
Yeah, but I live here. I don't have
Hastings
to.
as
I don't have to pay any money. It's all right. Well, beyond my mortgage, but so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might well be Paradise Park in New Haven at this rate, but beyond that, I don't know. Saltdean if they're at home, or Ringmer, they're the only two at home. All Little Common, but I have no faith Little Common's game will be on unless they move
Oh,
it to.
so I reckon loads will be called off. I do.
Well, I think Little Common have quite frequently moved games to Eastbourne United when they're away, and United are. So that might be.
Crowhurst are at home, so they can't.
Balls. All right, false as that then.
Do you reckon we'll ever do? All of us will do the same game. Do you reckon that'll ever happen?
It's only happened 3 of us being at one game.
Yeah.
I've done games with each of you this year.
Yep.
The crazy thing is, right, for the amount that we're on this together and the amount we speak and message daily,
yeah,
you and me have only seen each other in person 5-6 times?
Yeah, probably
by that. Let's keep it that way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't like to step outside of West Sussex. You and Gaz too often. Chris stays in.
I'm going up to Great Yarmouth.
Chris stays in East Sussex. I'm the only one.
Are you going with? Are you going with Crawley next week
on the 17th? Yeah.
Yeah. Where are they at?
Cockfosters.
Go for a little bit of cock.
Top of the Piccadilly line.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
But I will say is I've done games at each of the steps we cover this season.
Okay.
Yeah, you have done that. I've managed that. Yeah.
No, I've
got National League South to do, but I'll get to Horsham at some point.
Yeah, I've done
Isthmian. I want to see Little Hampton. But if I want to see Little Hampton, I want to go for a big game. It's got to be at home. I want to go and meet all their fans at about 11:30, maybe 11 o'clock, and then go from there. Have a proper one.
I got offered gear last time I went to Littlehampton.
That's nothing special, Chris.
No, but that's not it's the first time I've ever done that. Considering I used to work.
Looking like, is this going to get us shut down?
Nah,
I
say I took it because I didn't, but that's not me. That's really not me at all. I'm a geek.
Might do,
nothing.
Depending on Mike Storm coming in at the weekend.
There is Storm.
Preston and Chelsea, I think, on Saturday if it's going to be on, and then Tuesday we're going to Dorking, aren't we, Gaz?
We are indeed.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Dorking or Church.
That's actually when the Eastbourne Borough game is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that because I thought when Chris was going last night, Borough versus Horsham, I was going, no, that's next week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I looked, I thought it is next week. He's a stat man.
Cool. He don't really catch a match very well, does he?
Actual Horsham, not YM. Actual Horsham.
Look. To be fair, I really choose the Twitter feeds at the moment, but yeah, it is what it is. But it's good to be back, lads.
Isn't it wonderful? Right. If you wanna get in touch with us, you can catch us on X at the SNLF, on Facebook, the SNLF.co.uk, Gaz on Instagram and TikTok.
The SNLF.co.uk.
And YouTube.
The SNLF podcast.
Yep, give us all a subscribe and a follow on there. We've got a few and we've had some slightly high figures that we weren't expecting already. So drop into there, give us a follow, give us a subscribe.
People like the shorts, don't they?
They
love the little reels and the shorts.
Like, comment and subscribe. That's what they're saying, it.
Yeah.
Down below.
That's the one. Yeah, if you can get on and do that. Find Chris on X
_ Chris Pryor.
And the food guy.
Shit.
At shit.
At the SNLF _food on Instagram. I could give you the hold on, I'll give you the Twitter as well, the X, but I don't use that one as often. At SNLF food. Sorry. That was
lovely.
Really
and Mike is
Mike at myspace.com.
Mike's still in 1990.
And I've got a Bebo
probably
account.
when United were last good. Huh? You got what?
Bebo account.
Oh, Bebo. Yeah, I remember that as well.
Yeah, I just don't know why I don't get any traction on there at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
I wonder why.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
No, I'm not even bothered about social media anymore.
Not since he lost his passport. Right, enjoy the next 7 days of football if any gets played. If not, enjoy the whiteouts instead. If it was I was going to say proper football, they'd be out playing and clearing the seats and throwing footballs in it. But enjoy whatever you do manage to see, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
See you later. Thanks for watching.
Take it easy, guys.